Alright, now hello friends. Welcome to my channel, Caffeine Queen Crafts. My name is Sarah. We are here with a post review on a diamond painting. This is Bumblebee by Karla Joseph. I started this one as part of the Be Happy event that was put on by Diet Coke and Diamonds, Natalie, and Diamonds at Tiffany's, Tiffany, obviously. This baby is from a company that is new to me. It's called the Indigenous Collection. We're going to talk more about that and the pricing in a bit. It has 23 colors in rounds. It is 50 by 40 centimeters. I think those are all the important stats. The Bumblebee by Karla Joseph. Let's take a look at the original artwork. So, I go back and forth on this a lot, but let's go through it point by point. So, pros for this piece is the price. It was less than $20. I don't remember off the top of my head. Be warned though, this is a Canadian company, so shipping is more expensive. I think the cost of shipping was as much as one kit, so I went ahead and I ordered 3 kits. I'm missing a drill here, I just noticed. Great. Cool. So that is the pro. It is very, very budget friendly. The drills, even though they are acrylic, they are very sparkly. Like, they are more sparkly than any acrylic drill I feel like I have worked with. I think they're acrylic, at least. I think they're acrylic for 2 reasons. One, acrylic drills usually are not super faceted. They're very smooth. These are very smooth. And 2, they're cheaper, so most budget kits tend to have acrylic drills. These give me acrylic drill vibes. So, acrylic drills, but very sparkly acrylic drills. I don't mind acrylic drills in rounds, so that's not really a con. I am impressed, actually, given that these are acrylic, I'm impressed with how shiny they are and how sparkly and how much light they do catch. You know, because sometimes with acrylic drills, I feel like I'm trying to move it around so you can see better that light. Sometimes with acrylic drills, they just look like dots and they don't look like diamonds, you know. But these look good. Oh, I forgot to tell you, start date was July 1st. Finish was August 14th. No specials. This was my 10th finish of 2025, my 17th finish overall, my 12th start of 2025. Ooh. Sorry, the tape is peeling, but that's not the kit's fault. That's the tape's fault, and I'm having feels about this tape too. But we're not going to get into that right now. The tape is a whole separate issue. All right, other pros. The price, how sparkly the drills are, the company mission. So the Indigenous Collection, according to their About You page, I'm going to double check it right now. According to their website, they're Canadian, they're based in Richmond, British Columbia. They've been in business for a long time, and they work directly with Indigenous artists. So this is a licensed kit. I believe the artist is Cree. It says right here, actually, on the original art. She is Métis / Cree. Not sure if one of those is in French because Canadian. Sorry, that's my baby girl, who should be sleeping. But who am I to tell her how to live her life? Anyway. So the mission, I love that they work with Indigenous artists. I love that they license with Indigenous artists, because very often, like, authentic Indigenous art can be hard to find. It can be even harder to find when you make sure that, you know, people are getting paid for it appropriately. And I really do love the original artwork. Like, I love the flowers, I love the curves and the curl, and like the fading in the background and everything, and how the flowers go into the bees, since flowers only exist because of bees, and the pollen and everything. I really love that. Yes, I really love this original artwork. I do. The other pro that I had down about this is that it travels well. When I went to New York last month, I did take this with me. It traveled great. I was able to roll it up into the little canvas carrier for my tripod. I didn't bring the tripod in with it. That would have been weird. But, you know, it traveled really well with me. It rolled up great. These are the drills. I had lots of drills left over, as you can see. The empty containers did used to be full of drills, except for these here. Just these 2 rows was what I had. Oh, no, I guess there was one more in here, but yeah. Point is, I had enough drills to finish. I did not run out. Always good. I did seal it also I use Mod Podge. Some people say that it yellows over time. I've never experienced that, but everyone will have to decide for themselves. I just use Mod Podge to seal it and then let it sit for 24 hours. And it was still very sparkly and everything. And the reason I sealed it is we're gonna get into the cons now. We're gonna go with the little things before we get into the big thing. The reason I sealed it, and this is a little thing, is that the drill field is not very tight. There is some gapping. So I was worried about cat hair getting stuck in this and everything. So I sealed it for obvious reasons. Also, the glue was not super sticky in parts. There were a couple whipping chats that I did while working on this kit where you could see that I was struggling to get drills to stay down on parts where the glue just wasn't tacky enough. Like it felt weak, and that wasn't because my cat laid it in or anything. It was just because it was in multiple parts of the kit and she was not around. It just was not sticky enough in some places. So to be extra careful, I sealed it to make sure no drills popped. I didn't do a very good job though, because I'm looking at a drill that popped, which is why I'm a little annoyed. That's a me thing though. I'm not the best at sealing things. What else? The other thing that I think would be a con for most people, I like that it had this little mark here and another one at the top because that told you where you were, like marks the halfway point. The issue I did have, oh, I'm seeing this now. All right. Take 3, I guess, for this one. Sorry, my camera decided to stop recording and I didn't notice. So I finished the whole post review blithering at nothing, like a mad woman. All right, where I left off, we were talking about the edges. So something I noticed right as the camera was cutting off is that the dimensions they gave me, let me check my notebook, were 50 by 40 centimeters, but here it says the image size is 45 times 35 centimeters. So the measurement they gave you is for the whole canvas, not the actual image on the website. Just be aware. The point though that I was originally trying to make a million years ago when the camera stopped recording is about the edges. So most diamond paintings you see have what are called scalloped and poked edges, where the edges are wavy and then there's like these little holes around them, and that prevents fraying. Straight edge canvases like this will tend to fray. You can already see it kind of happening here. So at this price point, it's not a deal breaker for me to have straight edges with some fraying because again, less than $20. I'm not expecting a luxury experience. So dealing with a little fraying is totally fine and not a big deal in my world. Everybody else can make their own decisions. Then in terms of the other issue, and this is the big issue that I've been saving for last. I don't want this to sound too negative. I have a problem with the render on this kit. I don't think it does the original art justice because I really love the original art. But the diamond painting loses a lot of details. Like you can see the fuzz on the bee's body in the original art. The flowers are very crisp. There's like loops and curls and everything in the bee's body, and it all just sort of gets a little muddled in the bee. So I think that there are 3 main things that are working against this render. The first is the drill shape. So diamond paintings come in circles or squares. Circles are sparklier because they have more surface area, there's more facets on them, they tend to be shinier. This artwork would have been better in squares. Of course, no one likes working with acrylic squares, so maybe that's why they didn't do squares, they just did circles. However, I did notice that all of their artwork is done in circles. So just be aware of that if you order from them. Squares, however, give more detail, and because this is more detailed original art, I think a square drill shape would have done this more justice. The other thing that I think is working against this render is the size. The bigger the canvas is, the more space you have to work in those details, the less things tend to get lost. Like, you know, there's a whole tip of a swirl over here that's just represented by like a single dot. Like it's supposed to be a really well-defined like whoosh, and there's like a little bit of that with the gray, but then just this random brown dot sitting there. You know, you lose some of that. I will pop up a picture also of the whole original art because I don't think the whole thing's on frame right now, so you might just be like, Sarah, what are you talking about? I imagine you're always like, Sarah, what are you talking about? But I try to be clear and concise as much as possible. Anyway, I think squares and a larger canvas would have given them more room to work with. That would also, though, be moving us to a more expensive price point, which I'm aware of. And I would probably be okay with. It is what it is. However, the biggest thing that I think kind of gave this kit not a lot, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure this is a computer render. So there's two kind of rendering styles, or three, I guess. There's hybrid. There's computer rendering, my baby again, hybrid, and hand-charted. Hand-charted, oh, sorry. Second time filming this, I'm getting tired. Hand-charted is when a human being goes through and like decides what every pixel is gonna be point by point. Computer charted is when a computer does that. And hybrid is like a mix where like the computer does it and a human goes and touches it up. Jade from Jaded Gem Shops is the only person I know of that does hybrids. I think this is a computer charted because computer charted renders tend to be softer. There's not like super clean, crisp lines. And it just tends to be like a very confetti heavy blended sort of vibe. And don't get me wrong, sometimes artwork requires that style of render. Like, I'm doing currently Boreas by John William Waterhouse from Jaded Gem Shop. That's one of her hybrid kits. And that is very soft because the original artwork is very soft. I think those old masters style art really benefits from like a computer charting or from a hybrid charting. I worry with this art though, because of it's so crisp and has so many details that it just needed a human touch to get it right in diamond painting form. So those are my three big main points on the render. Everything I have suggested though, again, would raise the price point. So I guess it's a trade-off. Do you want like the super clear, crisp render with the square drills in a larger canvas size that costs more money? Or do you want the budget kit that's maybe a little more muddled in my opinion and doesn't give the details quite the way I was looking for? That's totally a personal decision. Whatever camp you fall into is totally fine. I will probably order from this company again. I probably won't order a diamond painting from this company again, but they sell other things on their website. Like they sell just prints of their artwork. And I think they have some amazing, lovely artwork. And you know what, maybe if there's a piece they have that's like better suited to a computer render, I'd consider buying a diamond painting from them, depending on the artwork. So I would just say, if you decide to purchase a diamond paint, like by all means, go ahead, shop at the Indigenous Collection. I think that their mission is great. They have a lot of amazing artists. I love that it's licensed, love all of that. Just maybe consider whether or not the art you're picking is going to be well represented by this render style. So pick something that the original artwork naturally has softer lines. just one girl's thought. I am going to definitely order them again. I'm probably, in fact, when I order from them again, I'm probably going to order this as just a print, not as a diamond painting, because I really do love this artwork and I would love to display it in my house. In terms of what I'm going to do with this, I do tend to give my diamond paintings away as gifts. And I did notice a theme of people coming over to my house and they would see me working on this and they'd be like, oh, Sarah, that's beautiful. And then they'd see the original artwork and they'd go, oh. So whoever I give this to, I'm just not going to show the original artwork to. It's not going to be a super close friend who's over at my house and will see it hanging up all the time. Because people are really perfectly content with this until they see the original artwork. And that's fine. That's okay. Everyone has their different preference in how things look in their styles and all that. So just to make sure that this little bumblebee finds the home it deserves and that its owner is happy, I'll just let them think this is, what the original artwork looked like. They don't need to see the other artwork more. It's just the way it is, and that's totally fine. And they'll be really content because everyone who's seen it before they see the original artwork does love it. Maybe you were among them. If you were, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope your caffeine is hitting just right and that your crafting is going super well. Bye.